Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back for another installment of 1 Minute with God for Men, 365 daily devotions. So this is day 3, and it's pretty good reading for today. So let's get into it. The title for today is Reliability. Can I really trust God to keep His promises? Faith requires trust, and trust is believing something to be true and then acting on that belief. If you believe in God, you will believe in His promises. When you do so, you will base your entire life on what God says and trust His promises to be true. To do this, you must see your problems through God's eyes and then move forward in faith. You must not ignore God's promises or discourage others from believing in them. Read Numbers chapter 13, verse 31 through 33. Trusting God's promises and acting upon them will move your life ahead in the right direction. It will also spur others to move forward in their faith as they see the blessings that come from faithful living. Now, this is God's response. This comes from Hebrews chapter 6, verse 16 through 18. When people take an oath, they call on someone greater than themselves to hold them to it. And without any question, that oath's binding. God also bound himself with an oath so that those who receive the promise could be perfectly sure that he would never change his mind. So God has given us both his promise and his oath. These two things are unchangeable because it is impossible for God to lie. Therefore, we who have fled to him for refuge can take new courage, for we can hold on to his promise with confidence. And God's promise in this comes from Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23. God can be trusted to keep his promise. That's a pretty good reading for today. And to me, it's kind of like what I gather from it. It's like trusting in a brand name or a big company that has a big reputation to keep up. You know, they can't falsify themselves or lead you on to believe something else. The big brand names and big companies follow through with their promises and do what they say they're going to do. And, we can't always rely on everybody to do that, but we can rely on God to do that. So I hope you got something out of that today. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. And as always, you guys take care of each other and have a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.